What is it like being a sociopath? I was diagnosed as a sociopath when I was a kid. I didn't fully understand what it meant at the time, but I knew it made me different. Other kids cried when their pets died or when they got yelled at. I didn't. I would watch them, trying to figure out their feelings and then copy them so I didn't stand out. It was like learning the rules of a game where everyone else already knew how to play, but I had to memorize each move to keep up. As I got older, I realized that people expected more than just mimicking emotions. They wanted depth. They wanted me to feel things the way they did, and no matter how much I tried to pretend, something always seemed off to them. Friends would tell me I was distant. Girlfriends would get frustrated, saying I never opened up or didn't care about them. I tried to explain that I did care, just not in the way they wanted me to. It was never enough. The hardest part was knowing that no matter how much effort I put in, people could still sense that something about me was different. It was in the way I reacted to things, the way I spoke, the way I handled problems. I didn't get overwhelmed with emotions the way other people did. When something bad happened, I just focused on what needed to be done next. I wasn't being cruel or indifferent on purpose. It was just how my mind worked. When my mom died, it was the first time I realized how much this difference really mattered. My siblings were devastated. They cried, shared memories, and held on to everything that reminded them of her. I stood there, watching, waiting for that same wave of grief to hit me. It never did. I knew I should feel something, but all I could think about was how long the funeral was going to take and what needed to be done afterward. I went through the motions, just like I had my whole life. I hugged my family, said the right words, even forced my face into something that looked like sadness when people talked to me. But my siblings noticed. At first, they just gave me space, assuming I handled it differently. Then they started asking questions. One day, my brother pulled me aside and asked why I wasn't talking about her. He wanted to know if I was in shock or just trying to hold it in. I told him the truth. I wasn't sad. I wasn't numb or suppressing anything. I just didn't feel it. The look on his face was something I had seen before. People gave me the same look when they realized I wasn't what they expected. He was disgusted, maybe even angry. He told me that she was our mother, that she had loved me, and that he didn't understand how I could be so emotionless. After that, things changed. My siblings stopped including me in their grief, stopped reaching out as much. I think they were waiting for something to hit me, some moment where I would finally break down and prove that I actually cared. That moment never came. A few weeks later, my brother called and told me it might be best if we took some space. He said it like he was giving me time to process everything, but I knew what he really meant. I didn't fit into the version of grief they were experiencing, and they couldn't handle it, so I let them go. I stopped calling. They stopped reaching out. It wasn't a dramatic falling out. It was just an unspoken understanding that I wasn't what they needed in a sibling, and they weren't what I needed either. People say family is everything, but I have never really understood that. If you don't feel the same things they do, if you don't grieve the way they expect you to, does that make you less of a person? Less of a brother? Maybe to them it does, but I can't change who I am, and I have stopped trying. I don't regret it.